Sunlight exposure is essential for human and planetary health. Last week when I was looking at vitamin D research, I came across other research specifically looking at sunshine therapy. This is also called a phototherapy. Yes, vitamin D is an important benefit of sunshine therapy, but there is so much more to the story, including a small but beautiful study on hot flush reduction with sunlight therapy. This certainly intrigued me, so I thought I would share it with you today. You're listening to Menopausenaturalsolutions, episode 166, Sunlight Therapy. Welcome to Menopausenaturalsolutions, your podcast for all things perimenopause, menopause and beyond. Stay tuned as your host, Naturopath Jennifer Harrington, explains how to use natural therapies to find your ultimate health and happiness during your transition. Hello, and thank you for your company today. Are you a sun lover? Personally, I am. I just love being in the sun. I really notice the change in my mood. I feel healthier, I feel happier, and more at peace with the world. And compare this to when it just rains or it's very overcast. I notice this change in my moods too. Humans evolved with the sun. Our ancestors spent most of their lives outside. The sun helped to provide warmth and rhythm to their days. Our planet also needs the sun. It plays a crucial role in providing light, weather, climate, seasons, and ocean currents. Plants require it for growth and photosynthesis. Yet these days there is so much fear surrounding spending time in the sun. Yes, excessive time spent in the sun has negative effects. So it's once again about finding the magical middle. We need enough time spent outside to gain the health benefits, but not too much time that you burn your skin. Let's start with the dangers of excessive sunlight exposure, and these include sunburn, skin cancer, premature skin aging, the development of cataracts in your eyes, and some individuals can experience UV radiation-induced reactivation of latent viruses, such as cold sore outbreaks. These problems are mostly benign and require cumulative exposures with long time frames between exposure and the start of the problem. This is with the exception of melanoma. Unfortunately, melanoma is malignant and incidences are on the rise. When did you last have a skin cancer checkup? Do you know the 5 skin signs to look out for? It's as easy as A, B, C, D, E. A is for asymmetrical. Any asymmetrical skin spot or mole should be professionally checked. B is for the border. If your mole edges are uneven, scalloped or notched, get it checked. C is for colour. If there are any different shades or colours, get it checked. D is for diameter. Any spot greater than 6 millimeters or 1/4 inch. Get it checked. E is for evolving. Has your spot changed? Differences to look out for include size, shape, surface, colour, bleeding or itch. It's also worth checking any skin sores that don't heal in a reasonable amount of time. Sunlight benefits. The biggest benefit that springs to mind for me is the promotion of a healthy circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycles. Ideally, we want to aim for 20 minutes of early morning sunlight exposure. Do it as early as possible after waking. This time outside should be without sunglasses and without sunscreen. It can be a walk around the block, or even just drinking a savoured cup of coffee while standing in the sun. Depending on your geographical location, if the sun isn't up when you are, consider investing in a light therapy device. Early morning sunlight exposure isn't just about resetting melatonin. It's also about improving your serotonin production. This helps with mood, making you feel more calm, more focused, and happy. Something most women transitioning into menopause would love, and it's free. Another reason why it's so beneficial for this stage of life is due to the potential hot flush reducing benefit of serotonin. Serotonin plays a key role in body temperature regulation, and not having enough of it can increase your risk of flushes. This is the reason why some doctors are prescribing antidepressant medication. This is to help improve serotonin levels, regulate your temperature, and prevent flushing. You can try this medication, but may I suggest you instead try daily sunlight therapy first. It's cheap, has few long-term complications, and no interactions to consider. An Australian study published in 2020 called An Examination of the Relationship Between Sunlight Exposure and Hot Flush in Working Women suggested that circadian disruption may play a role in hot flush intensity and frequency in menopausal women, especially those that are shift workers. They found these women benefited from an hour a day of sunlight, and they were rewarded with less frequency and intense hot flushes. How good is that? While we are talking about menopause research and sunshine, I found two other studies. A US one with 63,801 women and a smaller Turkish study. Both these studies found that low levels of lifetime sun exposure was linked to experiencing a younger menopausal transition. That alone is enough to get me outside. Another hormone involved in the circadian rhythm is cortisol. Sunshine has a regulating effect on cortisol. It can stimulate it to promote wakefulness, but it can also help to diminish excessive levels caused by stress. This is why sunbaking can be so relaxing. Just don't fall asleep and burn your skin. Most people think of vitamin D when it comes to sunshine therapy, and they would be right. Sunshine is the preferred way to produce vitamin D. Vitamin D plays a role in over 200 bodily processes, including energy production, bone health, immune function, hormone regulation, mood stabilization, pain reduction, and more. Sunlight therapy may play a role in nitric oxide release. This may help regulate and reduce elevated blood pressure and improve cardiac health. Sunlight may also help produce many other phytoproducts. Some of these additional benefits of these substances include better pain tolerance, improved immune regulation, improved blood flow and blood pressure, more energy, and less inflammation. Remember, it's about the magical middle. Don't overdo your sunshine exposure and don't go out of your way to avoid it. If you are heading on holiday and potentially seeing more sunshine than your skin is used to, you may want to take extra steps to protect your skin. Fern block is one ingredient that helps improve your skin's resistance to sunburn, protecting the skin from all 4 forms of ultraviolet light. It also helps to repair sun-damaged skin. It's good for protecting against both short-term and long-term dangers that can come from too much time in the sun. Personally, I don't use this daily, but instead I save it for holidays when my skin may be exposed to more than it's used to. A big thank you to Dr. Sandra Kaufman for telling me about this herbal extract. You can find our interview in episode 101, Why We Age and How to Slow It Down. That's all from me this week. I need to get in some sunshine before the sun goes down today. Wishing you a wonderful week. Until next time, bye for now. for listening to Menopausenaturalsolutions. This podcast contains general information about menopause. It is provided as a guide, and it is not intended to replace medical advice. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend.